tell yourself that we all go through this at every point, at some point in our lives. You're not alone. No? Sa mga careers natin, parte yun na nababurnout tayo. Pero wag na nating intayin na grumabe pa siya, na maging chronic stress siya.
Hi, I'm Anne from Infinit Care. Welcome to Let's Talk, the Infinit Care Podcast, the show that talks about mental health and well-being. In today's episode, we will discuss burnout and stress and talk about ways to manage and nurture our well-being. Joining us today is Shine Mangulabnan, a licensed counselor who can share her thoughts about stress management. Welcome, Shine.
Hello, Anne.
All right, let's talk about burnout and stress. Ano nga ba yung burnout and how does it differ from everyday stress?
Okay. Burnout is the mental, emotional, or physical collapse that happens when we are overworked or when we feel too stressed.
Okay, and ano yung pagkakaiba nun sa regular stress?
Ang regular stress kasi is something that we feel as a response to our daily challenges. No? So, yun. And usually, burnout is a word coined in the workplace.
I see. No? So, medyo work-related siya na condition.
That's right.
So, Shine, ano yung mga common signs and symptoms of burnout that people should be aware of?
Yeah. Pag nagiging consistent yung hirap na tayong mag-deliver sa trabaho, nagkakaroon tayo ng decreased productivity, and when there is isolation or you feel withdrawn from the work that you do or the people that you work with, and then yung lagi tayong pagod, no, sa trabaho, ayaw na natin pumasok, hirap tayong bumangon, wala tayong motivation. Another sign would be when you've become critical or cynical sa katrabaho mo, sa trabaho mo, sa kumpanya mo, then that can also be a sign of burnout.
Isn't that normal though? Maraming tao nagreklamo na pagod na sila sa trabaho or may ayaw sa kumpanya nila.
Or ayaw nila sa katrabaho or sa boss nila. Oo. Yes, it's normal. Ang pinagkaiba pag sinabi nating burnout ay consistent yung nararamdaman natin. Consistent feeling that's there. So when we talk about consistency, we always have to see there is this time period na 3 weeks to more than 3 weeks na lagi, araw-araw, hirap kang bumangon. And of course, pag nagkakaroon ka na ng decreased productivity, consistently also, then that can be a sign that there's something underlying that's bothering you, no? Which can be burnout.
Apart from the manifestations in the work, are there physical symptoms that someone can identify para masabing parang burnout na yata?
Yes. Also, another thing, pag burnout tayo, yung lagi din tayong nagkakasakit eh. Diba? We also have that. So, yes, it can be another physical symptom like meron kang mga sakit dito sa back. Tapos may mga migraines ka. Tapos pag pina-check up mo naman, sasabihin ng doktor, wala namang problema, wala namang nakita. And then if that becomes consistent, then you also have to check within yourself with what's happening. No?
And how does that affect someone's mental well-being?
Of course, when you're experiencing burnout, it also very much affects the way you look at yourself. Because when you're burned out and then you have the work that you have to do, you have the responsibilities that you need to deliver, and then you question yourself, is this something that I still want to do? You question also your worth as a person in terms of the professional career that you've chosen. And then another thing is, nakaka-apekto din siya ng relationships mo sa trabaho. No?
Is it related to some mental health issues like anxiety and depression?
It can, very much dependent on ano ang nagiging triggering factor mo. So if, for example, with anxiety, no, you can have anxiety, you can be anxious to go to work because you're already burned out. You can be anxious with what you have to deliver at work because you're already exhausted. No? And with depression, you question yourself, is this something that I still want to do? Am I still in the right company? Am I still with the right organization? Then that can definitely lead into depression pag paulit-ulit na ganun yung mindset natin.
So may related factors din pala yun, no?
Oo.
Are there any practical strategies that you can share to prevent or manage burnout?
I think what I always, when we talk to patients or clients, what we tell them is the very first step is clarity. Clarity with the task, with the job that you have. What are the things that your boss is asking you to do? When is the deadline? Kailan mo ba kailangan to? Sino bang kasama sa project na ito? Para mas maintindihan mo kung anong energy, anong kailangan mong ibigay dun sa trabaho na yon. The next one is you open your doors to other possibilities also. Evaluate where you are in that moment. Is this something that I want or I see myself doing in the next 5 years? And if your answer is no, then what is it? No, maghanap din ng, mag-evaluate din within yourself kung career path, saan ba at ano ba ang gusto mo. Right? Another thing to avoid burnout, ito, lagi naman natin sinasabi, but most of the times we forget to do this, to be deliberate in rest. So for example, we receive an email at 4:50 on a Friday afternoon, and you're supposed to leave the house or leave work, shut down your laptop at 5 p.m. How do we respond to that? That can also make or break. Right? Because if we can tell ourselves na, okay, this can wait until Monday and I can rest during the weekend, then that will very much help prevent burnout. Be deliberate with rest. If it's the weekend, it's the weekend. If you shut down your laptop at 5 p.m., then let it be. No, hindi yung mga a little extensions every now and then, right? And we juggle it with our family life or we juggle it with our personal life, then that can get messed up and diba, entwined in our weekend or family activities.
But let's face it, Shine, many people don't have that self-awareness, walang clarity, and do not deliberately rest. So when you're already at that point na na-burnout ka na, anong dapat mong gawin?
Okay. Check mo muna sa sarili mo, is this burnout that I'm feeling? And if you feel like nagiging consistent na siya, it's also good to be able to track how we're feeling, no? Kung may app man kayo, let's say for example with Infinit Care, you have the app, you can track how you've been feeling every day, or isulat mo sa papel, isulat mo sa notebook mo how you've been feeling every day, and then kung sa tingin mo for 21 days or half of the month you're down, you're tired, you're unmotivated, then that is definitely a sign that there's something going on and you want to understand what it is. No? So, magkaroon ng self-awareness, and when you have that, never be afraid to reach out to somebody. You can talk to a colleague that you trust. You can talk to a friend of yours. It doesn't have to be in the same industry that you work with or you work in, but have that conversation that, this is what I've been feeling. I think I'm burned out. And if it still persists in the next couple of weeks, then reach out to a mental health professional so that that person can guide you and can give recommendations as to how you should deal with your burnout. Because iba-ibang approach naman yon at iba-ibang reason bakit tayo nakakarating sa stage na nabe-burnout tayo.
And from an immediate action or perspective, would you advise people to take a break, take a vacation? Like, is that something practical or is that avoiding? Is that avoiding behavior?
Yeah. Ang pagpapahinga kasi, hindi siya dapat yung bulto-bulto. Diba? We have to be consistent with rest. Because it doesn't work na for the whole month of July, sige, kayod lang, overtime. Tapos maghahanap ka ng weekend at the end of July na yun yung pahinga mo. Tao lang tayo. Our bodies also tend to give up in situations like that. So, consistent yung self-care, consistent yung rest. So, for example, yung pag-shower mo, as simple as that, being able to take the time to rest and shower at your own pace, at your own time, making sure that you're eating healthy, hindi yung kumakain ka sa desk mo araw-araw because you're not being consistent with your rest. Dapat to answer that, no, to make it short, and it's really be consistent with rest. Hindi pwedeng one time big time rest or one time big time vacation, one time big time relaxation.
So in short, wag hintayin ma-burn out.
Yes. Oo. Kasi hindi mo rin ma-enjoy, hindi mo rin naman ma-enjoy yung bakasyon mo kung pagod ka rin.
Alright. So, any final thoughts or advice for our listeners who may be experiencing burnout at the moment?
For those who feel and who can very much relate to what we're talking to today, do not hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional, right? And tell yourself that we all go through this at some point in our lives. You're not alone. No? Sa mga careers natin, parte yun na nababurnout tayo. Pero wag na nating intayin na grumabe pa siya, na maging chronic stress siya. Okay? So, in short, reach out.
Reach out. And it's okay to ask for help.
It's okay, oo. Sabi ko nga, lahat naman tayo dumadaan. Swerte nang hindi dumaan. No?
Oo. Parang sana all.
Sana all.
Okay. So, Shine, thank you very much for sharing your insights on managing burnout and stress. I hope people got some practical tips, especially yung sinasabi mong being deliberate on rest and looking after yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you as well, Anne.
Thank you all for joining us today. Remember, taking care of your mental well-being is essential to a healthy and fulfilling life. Stay tuned for more episodes of Let's Talk, the Infinit Care Podcast. Bye!